you're right on time. Welcome to another Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains. And we have a special show today because we're going to be talking with Clay Wurst. And nobody better to tell us about the area of Goldfield and the WASP Mine and the Mammoth Mine than Clay Wurst. As a matter of fact, he's got a great story about the Mammoth Mine he's going to share with us. Clay?
Back in the early days of the Mammoth Mine, there was a cave-in. And there was a man trapped down there for over a month with nothing to eat. There was enough mine water that he had water, and he could tap on a pipe so they could hear up above that there was someone alive down there.
This all sounds a little bit too fantastic. So were they able to get to him?
So they had to sink another shaft down alongside him, drift across, and bring this guy out.
I'm really amazed that he was able to survive this.
And when they brought him out, I think he weighed about 120 pounds, but he actually walked out under his own power, and he lived.
What about the man that was high-grading gold and then hiding it up in the mountains?
Yeah, there's another story, and apparently this is not just a story. This apparently actually happened. There was some extremely high-grade gold in the Mammoth Mine. And it was a real temptation for the miners that worked there to try and sneak that stuff out, called high grading. And there was a lot of it going on. They had to build a dry room where when the miners came in, they completely stripped naked, changed into their mining clothes. Then when they came out, showered, changed back into their day clothes and went home. But high grading still continued, and there was one man named Al Center who was actually a foreman there. So he was in a position of trust where he had a little more freedom than the miners did. And he began high grading. And of all this seems difficult to understand, but what he actually did every week, he made a trip up to the top of Superstition Mountain and deposited this high-grade gold that he had stolen. And this went on for a long time, and finally they caught him. And the bulls at the mine beat him almost senseless, broke one of his arms that they had to amputate.
So what happened to him after he was beaten up?
Center got killed. Center went back into the Superstition Mountains and never came out.
Okay, do we know why he stole from the mine?
But he had a lady friend. He was actually fell in love with a lovely lady from Mesa. But Center had nothing, and she was a woman of refinement. And he felt that he could never ask her to marry him until he had something to offer her. This was his incentive in stealing all this gold.
So did anyone ever go up looking for the gold?
Bob Corbin, who was the Attorney General at that time, and Tom Collenborn, who is a historian here, tried to follow Center's map up to the top of Superstition Mountain. They actually located Center's camp. They never found the gold. Coming down off the mountain, a perilous route to try with the pack outfit, they found a place down in the canyon bottom where there was a skeleton of a dead mule, and they also found Center's skeleton with one arm missing. So they knew it was Center. And they buried Center down there. But the question was, when was Center killed? Was Center killed before he managed to move his gold down off the mountain? Or had Center moved most of the gold down off the mountain, was going back to bring down his camp, his personal effects when he was killed? You just don't know. But Corbin and Collenborn made a diligent search to try and find Center's gold up on top of Superstition. Well, Center's gold is somewhere out there.
All right, so they found the camp, but they never found the gold.
Well, it was amazing because Corbin and Collenborn found Center's camp. and they found his skeleton, and they found the skeleton of a dead mule, but they never found the gold.
Well, thanks for joining us for another special episode of Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains. And we'd like to thank Clay Wurst, the owner of the WASP Mine, who knows everything about this area. And he's going to be sharing more stories with us, sharing more of the mysteries of the Superstition Mountains.